Hi guys, so today I'm going to be doing a second look with the Shane Dawson Jeffree Star Conspiracy Palette and the Mini Controversy. I did actually use Jeffree Star's androgyny palette with this look too, only because of the colors in the bottom. I wanted a matte green. But anyways, if you guys want to see how I did this look and everything, just keep watching. I'm starting out with the Mini Controversy palette again, using the Cry on the Couch color. I've already primed my eyelids in this video, but we're going to start with the Cry on my Couch up at the top. Using the Jeffree Star Cosmetics Androgyny palette, I'm going to use that for the matte colors, and I'm starting with the color Poison. I'm going to put that at the bottom. I've listed the brushes down here, but this is a little round brush I'm packing the color down with. Ignore my pink wings I have right here, because my last eyeshadow look with Trisha from the Conspiracy palette literally stained my eyes. It's not coming off. Here I'm just showing you that I'm starting right where my hooded eye starts, if that makes sense. That way I can get every bit of color that I want out of this look with it. I'm also packing this in right here because I'm going to put another color on top and blend them up. That way you can see how I have two variations. But I'm using the color Military above it with a smaller round brush to pack it up there. And mixing these two together is going to give me a nice military green, if that makes any sense. Here I'm just starting to blend out just the top color. Now you can move that one around a little bit more instead of focusing on just the edge, but I'm blending that top color with the Cry on My Couch base color, and I'm playing with that back and forth until it gives me that soft blend that I'm looking for. I also want to mention this brush I got in my BoxyCharm, this little Luxie mini round, is one of the best blending brushes I've ever gotten for these little creases. Since I started playing with this brush, I've been able to do so much better with my makeup looks, if that makes any sense. I'm just not one to really venture out and buy a bunch of brushes until recently, so it was a game changer for me. I'm gonna apologize because there's so much of my videos that are just blending, but right here I'm going back in on Poison and I'm slowly blending it into Military to soften it out too. That way I have the two colors there. But Military was a little more blue green teal for me, so what I did was I put Military over Poison when I was done blending it and softening it out, and it made a gorgeous green color, and it was so solid. It may sound crazy, I don't think it really does, but I really think these natural hair brushes from Morphe, they're some of my first ones that I bought were the James Charles set, but they really make a difference with the way they apply certain products. The natural bristles as opposed to synthetic. Like my highlighter, the only highlighter brush I use now is my Jeffree Star natural hair brush. The only downside to these is they are so hard to clean and not tear up the bristles. Again, once I'm done with all of the blending that I wanted to do, I just go back in with that primary color so that it's not too washed out, and I put it back down last, just to help keep it a little bit stronger because I do tend to get them a little bit more washed out once I'm done blending every color together. So I'll normally do the brow bone color, and then I'll go back down to the bright color and just softly pack it where I need it. Now I'm just making sure that I put some down on my actual lid in the back, because I am going to need color there for the cut crease later, and I have forgotten that before and it's totally messed me up. I'm going to use a concealer brush here again, and I'm going to use Shape Tape today for the shiny pigment here, and just carving out the crease that I want slowly and pressing and pulling back away to build up that strong crisp line that I want. And buffing out the edges with my fingertips just a tad, but you can always take that darker shadow back in the back and kind of blend it out evenly. I still listed the first brush I started with, but I didn't like the way that one was doing because it was a little rougher on the edge. So I went back in with like a little cheap, I don't even know the name of it, it's like a eyeshadow concealer brush from like Dollar General. But I started using it instead, and there's not really a name for it, so I'm not going to put one in there. Finally, going in with the Conspiracy palette, I'm going to use the color Conspiracy. I'm going to use that on the whole eyelid that we just carved out with the concealer. I'm just going to pack that down and slowly press it towards the edges to get that clean, crisp line at the top. And the Shape Tape works great for this because it holds every bit of the pigment that you press down onto it. After packing Conspiracy, I'm going to go back down with Illuminati. It's a nice shimmery dark green. I'm going to use it towards the back. I really wanted to use this on my whole eyelid for the cut crease part, but I wasn't sure how shimmers were going to look up there entirely. They tend to look a little too jumbled for me. So I'm just putting it towards the back over this dark green that we've made, and I'm going to soften it and kind of blend it around up at the top just to even it out and make it look to where the back is shimmery instead of up towards the crease where it's matte. I kind of have to play back and forth with getting the line to disappear that I get sometimes right there. For a highlight, I'm going to use Ranch. It's one of my favorite shades right there because I love Ranch. I'm going to put it up at the top, but it was too bright right off by itself, and we're using a little bit of a warmer green. So I put my boyfriend's purse over it, just to kind of dull it back down into like a golden type of highlight. But I still struggled with this because it was very pigmented and it came off really strong. So it took me a while of blending that military color and the poison back over it to kind of dull down back into my color. Anytime I put the highlight right there, I have to do this, but not nearly as much because this was strong. It was some crispy Ranch. For that golden bronzy eyeliner I have on, I'm going to use the Stila Smoky Storm. It's one of their liquid eyeshadows, the glitter and glow one, the gold, not the red top ones. But I'm using a little Ulta glitter eyeliner brush to put this on because these come with like a doe foot applicator, and that's a little too thick for what I was trying to do here. So I'm just using that little bitty brush, just to get a clean eyeliner out of it. You can see that I lay my hand on my face to do this, which is another reason I don't wear foundation, especially if I decide to add stuff like I did with this last minute. But I also do small, gentle strokes, that way I can see where I'm going and where I want that control with it. For my wing, I'm going to use the Hank & Henry Blickety Black liner. Y'all know this is like my main one I use now. But I'm going to use that just to get my wing right, and I goofed right there. You see that little triangle? So now I ended up with thicker eyeliner than I wanted, but everybody does that. I'm just applying that Urban Decay Potion Primer in Eden again to my under eye area. And I'm going to go back in with Poison and Military just to give me a nice matte under eyeshadow. When I put concealer on, I tend to have to redo this a little bit, but I prefer to do this with an eyeshadow primer first. That way I don't have to deal with it, because once I put my concealer on, I put my powder on top of it right after so it doesn't crease too bad. I'm also using a Ulta Beauty brand gel liner right here. It's an insanely good black gel liner for real. I've almost used this whole pencil up. But once I have that eyeliner on, I'm just going to use that little concealer brush I was using earlier to kind of blend a little bit of that color Poison back up into the liner so that I kind of smoke it out a little bit and make it less of a harsh line. I don't typically do green eye looks unless it's like super bright green, but I really like the way this one turned out, and I didn't do my dramatic lashes this time. I just did the little bitty ones. So now that I have my lashes on and everything, the lashes I have today are Lily Lashes in 3D Mink Rome, style Rome. But anyway, you guys, if you'd like to see more looks like this, just hit that like button, subscribe, and I will see y'all in the next video.